First year, very challenging. Learn a lot. Yeah, they're a beast of a car, and yeah, big challenge, big change from the production days. Yeah, they're, like I say, a beast to drive, a lot to learn, but we're sort of happy with where we ended up. It was pretty good. I'm still learning about the chassis side of things. The last year's car was a 2013 Rocket with a 525 crate motor. Runs on pump fuel. Really good combination, good package for probably starting out, and probably could have continued on for another season or two. I was pretty happy with the car. But this year we've purchased the ex-Brad Blake Longhorn. So I'm not sure on the differences in the chassis, and but we'll learn that along the way. So we've got a methanol engine this year, not the crate motor, but yeah, so it's going to be another learning curve for us. A bit more horsepower. So hopefully, yeah, we can stick it in the top 10 a bit more often, and see how we go. Yeah, obviously, you know, you can't, well, I can't do this sport without the backing of you know, your sponsors, and one of my major sponsors is my brother from Crane Corp, RPM Race Products. Yeah, he supports me 100% and has done for a long time. So yeah, it's pretty special relationship there. So he's into the sport himself and not going anywhere anytime soon. So yeah, his backing has been, yeah, a real big help for my racing career. And yeah, so yeah, big thanks to him. He's been a yeah, supporter of mine over the years, and Rick's, and also Brad Blake. He supported Brad Blake for a few years. And then last year we went to Sharks Bay, and Warwick said to me, how about we go late models next year? And I was like, oh, well, yeah, that'd be nice. That's a dream, you know, but obviously, you know, things have to change. We have to drop the production racing to be able to afford and to maintain the late model in preparation and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, Wax, or Warwick, has been a big drive behind all this. So yeah, I couldn't have done it without him, really. Depending on the track, the Motorplex, when the track is hooked up, I liked it, and we succeeded. When the track goes away a little bit, we struggled. But that's a learning curve for us, which yeah, hopefully we can turn that around a bit this year. But one of my favourite tracks is Ellenbrook. I was pretty successful there in the production days, and I could go to the bottom, I could go to the top. And when everyone was on the bottom, I still went up the top, and yeah, try to put on a race for the crowd, for the sponsors and whatnot. But yeah, I really like the high side of racing. It's good. Yeah, there was obviously a few options out there. And most of them had the crate motor option. We went with the Longhorn from the Blakes, had the open motor. So yeah, basically that sort of got us over the line. We just wanted a little bit more horsepower, and whether that falls in favour or not, we don't know. But we've still got a crate motor as a backup for the season. So either way, yeah, we should have a good combination. But yeah, just this car was obviously Brad Blake's, performed well, it's well maintained, well looked after, and obviously the bigger engine sort of got us over the line. Yeah, look, Lisa's she backs me 100%. She yeah, without her driving passion like mine, yeah, she's always made sure we're all fed and hydrated well. So yeah, she does a lot behind the scenes for us. and and work-wise, it's just pretty busy. So a lot of the maintenance happens after hours, long nights in the sheds. But we've got a good crew that comes along and helps out as well after hours, and those guys work as well. So it's a big commitment from them to come along and support us and get us ready for the next meeting. But yeah, Lisa's a big driving force behind this team as well. Yeah, obviously you go to race and be competitive, try and put the car on the trailer straight. But afterwards, I love a beer. I love, just hanging out with these speedway mates, your competitors, and just enjoying life. It's not always about racing. It's always about socialising and stirring each other up afterwards with a few beers, and having a good laugh and just get to know more people. But yeah, just love it. It's great. Pretty busy. We're going to try and do most of the Pro Dirt series. We have some commitments with the production titles and that coming up. So that's going to be 50-50 whether we go that way or keep doing the Pro Dirt series for the January titles. But we're hoping to do as much of the Pro Dirt series as we can. And if the Americans are coming out, that'll be even good for us. We can watch and learn and try and chase them down. But that'll be a big ask. But looking forward to it. Plan is to go to Warrnambool. Always like doing the Australian titles, obviously the competitiveness of it all, and the experience. We always like to go in the east and have a crack, whether we come last or make the finals. It's just the experience and getting over there and meeting new fellow drivers and just having a crack. I've got a gym inside. It doesn't get used. I'd like to get onto that instead of the beers. But when you're out here, you got to have a beer, and there's no real routine. I just make sure that I'm out here every night before a Saturday night, just chipping away, whether it's polishing, cleaning, checking nuts and bolts, just double checking yourself, making sure that we're turn up to the track and nothing's going to fall off. But yeah, that's about it really. Oh no, wing it. Wing it, but we have a good crew. Joel, he's in there doing all the nuts and bolts and checking wheel nuts and tyre pressures, and he's a pretty handy bloke to have on your team. As Gavin Conley as well, who's one of my best mates. We've been racing with each other for 20 odd years. He comes and supports me when he can, and he's a huge supporter of us in the late models. And then there's Wax, who just likes to stand there and look good and polish the car. But he likes to be there and give us support. Lisa, she does the cooking and make sure we got water and beers for after the meeting. So and then we got Ted that comes along and helps out when he can. Rob Clark, who's one of our new sponsors this year, he's come along and helped out crewing and stuff like that, and loved it that much that he wanted to put his hand in his pocket and help us out. So big thanks to him as well. It's just winging it really. Without our corporate sponsors, we would be struggling. I'd have to do more overtime, and then to do more overtime, I would be limited to racing. So I'm fortunate enough to have a pretty good job and get the time to go racing when needed, and work away or work in Perth. So I have a pretty good job that sort of gives me the options to do 38 hours a week or 80 hours a week. So yeah, I've got it pretty good, I'd say. The Crane Corp Australia, that's my brother's business. RPM Race Products, you know, those guys back me 100%, right behind me. MPS Tree Services, Matthew Spark and Caitlin Spark, they've jumped on board again this year. So if you need any tree lopping or any tree pruning done, they're the go. Rollform WA, another former or competitor in Glenn Hoskins, who's jumped on board this year. Yeah, hopefully we can get him along to a few meetings, and he might get the bug and want to come late model racing. That'd be great. And Rob from ELC Classified Plant Inspection, he's jumped on board this year, and yeah, massive help from him. Yeah, so massive thanks to them. Without them, we can't do it. Last year we finished 9th, I think it was, in the Pro Dirt Series, which was yeah, real surprise. So if we can go one better than that, or a top 5, or just even in the top 10, with the competition of cars we've got, it's pretty tough. So I'd be happy to just be in the top 10 again. This is my 35th year in racing. Been racing since I was 10. It's in the blood. And over those 35 years, I've tried to have a break and give it up. And that might have lasted 6 months. But never went away from it. We always went and watched and whatnot. But then just, yeah, had to get back out there. It was just the thrill, the passion, the competition, your mates. You know, they're like family. We've met so many great people in those 35 years. Yeah, so it's just the friends, the families. You know, yeah, it's just love it. It's just in the blood. Where else would you want to be?